Welcome back after the short break. We have with us Professor Dr. Manoj Kumar Pateria, who is currently the advisor and scientist G, Science and Engineering Research Council, Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. He is responsible for promoting scientific research and innovation in the country. In his prior assignment, he has served as Director, CSIR, National Institute of Science Communication and Information Resources, and taken a number of initiatives. Earlier, Dr. Pateria was Additional Director General of Doordarshan and All India Radio, where he was responsible for setting up a 24/7 satellite TV channel, DD Kisan, including external broadcasts. He also served as head and advisor, National Council for Science and Technology Communication, and started a variety of innovative programs. A very well accomplished scientist, academician, administrator, and communication professional, Professor Pateria specializes in biosciences, mass media, management, and policy. Today, he'll be taking us on a journey on science communication for inclusive and sustainable development. Over to you, sir.
Thank you and good evening to all of you. So thank you very much, and I am delighted to be part of this wonderful program and would like to congratulate all of you for putting together this program and inviting me to share some of my stray thoughts on this occasion. Well, I have prepared a brief presentation, although I would like to say that the topic is very apt, very aptly chosen, and very timely in need of the hour. And sustainable development, I think it relates one and all around the world, especially important for the developing world like India. So all of us need to put in efforts, small or large, whatever we can do. So that is very, very important. So by not taking much time, I will take you through a brief presentation that I would like to share through this share app. So the topic of my presentation is Science and Risk Communication for Sustainable Development. And I would like to welcome all of you for this brief presentation. I would start with a guiding principle. I think India is the only country that has as a kind of duty for every citizen. That is one of its kind, because we all are aware of our what we call the rights, but we are not aware of our duties. So as an Indian citizen, this responsibility is bestowed on us by the Indian Constitution. It says that it shall be the duty of every citizen of India to develop the scientific temper, humanism, and the spirit of inquiry and reform, and that we call the scientific temper, as well as to protect and improve the natural environment, including forests, lakes, rivers, and wildlife, and have compassion for living creatures. So that is nothing but the sustainable development, the key and doctrine for the sustainable development. So that as a guiding principle, India has as part of its constitution, Part 4A, Section 51A. And every citizen is supposed to follow and obey this guiding principle. What do we mean by risk communication? Risk communication means wherein human life has a threat. So that is the risk. If there is a risk involved where human life is on threat, so for which we require risk communication to overcome that threat. So this is a kind of emerging area all around the world. You must have seen the extreme weather events, nuclear leaks, nuclear disasters, tsunamis, and a lot of things are happening, natural and man-made. So how to combat all these things, how to mitigate. So for that, like Bhopal gas tragedy. So these kinds of things, they require risk communication and well preparedness for the best kind of development. So the development cannot become a kind of disaster. Development should be for the well-being of the mankind. So state agencies are involved, voluntary organizations and NGO sector has to be involved for overcoming all these situations. Educational institutions can play an important role, because if we are able to engage the teachers and students from the very beginning, so they will become the responsible citizens for the sustainable development and overcoming all these situations. Mass media has to be sensitized for that. International sector, we have to join hands with the countries, with the organizations, international and multinational organizations for the cause. Individuals have to be sensitized, and syllabus has to be developed for education sector. as per the new science, technology, and innovation policy, as well as the new education policy. Training programs have to be conducted in various languages, not only in Hindi and English, but other regional languages when it comes to India. But the world over, it can be their local languages. And awareness. Awareness is the key for overcoming this kind of risk. The potential risk areas are chemical, industrial, environmental, nuclear, pharmaceutical, biotech products, GMOs, genetically modified organisms, food adulteration, commercial, global, political issues are also there. You must have seen the case of BT Brinjal, where BT Brinjal had many faceted issues. There are issues of scientific issues, there were political issues, there were financial issues. So many issues when they came together, then the government had to take a decision to bring a kind of moratorium to not allow the BT Brinjal to come to the market. So that is a different story. And somehow that is also going to impact the sustainable development. So we have to be aware, and we must make the fellow citizens aware of all such situations. Superstition is yet another area. We are seeing all around, a lot of superstitions are there. And pandemics and epidemics, like we are passing through this COVID-19 pandemic. I have already referred the Union Carbide Bhopal gas tragedy. And I would like to give a simple example. Had the people of Bhopal, had they known earlier that this gas was soluble into the water, and had they taken a wet cloth, wet handkerchief, wet towel, or even any shirt soaked into water, and they have put on their nose and mouth, they could have saved their lives, as they this will not allow them to inhale more gas to make it lethal. So this is the simple kind of knowledge, this simple kind of awareness can really save the lives of the people. So it is not only just well-being of the people, just saving and shaping the lives of the people. So these kinds of awareness is very, very important. Kosi River pollution, yet another example, where in the Rampur district, there is a river called Kosi. And we conducted a program along the river in Rampur district. And we found that the river pollution was reaching to the ground level. And the water coming from the wells, the water coming from any water bodies, it was polluted. And the villagers, they were left with no option other than to drink the same kind of water, resulting into number of diseases. So we have taken the samples, we have tested that, and the national and international level reports appeared in the media that somehow pressurized the authorities to put in the treatment plants so that the pollution can be minimized. So this is the role of science communication and science journalism at local level, and solving the local level issue like Kosi River pollution in Rampur. So now we have put together yet another program that is called YASH. It is Year of Awareness on Science and Health, focusing COVID-19. So it involves number of programs, publications in various languages, and we have brought out a digital kind of booklet called COVID Katha. COVID Katha is available in various Indian languages, including Hindi and English. It is available on dst.gov.com on DST website. And in various Indian languages also it is available, like Marathi, Tamil, Khasi language, it is available, Bangla, it is available, Assamia, it is available. So it is free to use, and there is no copyright issue, but it is good that someone can refers the source. So this YASH program is going on very well. This is all about educating people for this pandemic to safeguard themselves. These are the various biotech products like Santa, Biotechnics, Hepatitis B. So some of the issues, they come up whenever something new happens, like something incidentally, Santa Biotechnics, it was able to produce India's first biotech vaccine, that is the Hepatitis B vaccine. And there was a lot of resistance from the common man. Similarly, like we are having the resistance in COVID-19 vaccine. So this kind of resistance can be overcome only through the awareness. So that kind of awareness is very, very important. And second thing is the price. Like now we are getting the vaccine free of cost. But this hepatitis B vaccine was also less expensive. But at the same time, India was importing highly expensive vaccine from outside, and that was very popular among the doctors. So doctors used to prescribe this highly expensive vaccine rather than prescribing the hepatitis B vaccine that is indigenously produced. So these kinds of problems can be really overcome through proper awareness and educating the doctors as well as the common man. GM food issue, I have already mentioned the BT brinjal issue. Induced milking in cows and buffaloes, we have seen the cases. Even in a lot of fruits, and a lot of chemicals are being used for making them more to making them more sellable. Sponsored designer research, spurious food products, beverages. So that has to be, I think, that is counterproductive for the overall development. And most of the pressure on our health service is because of such kind of ill practices in the society. So it has to be somehow curbed by right kind of education as well as the legislature. This is all about the genetically modified organisms. I have already mentioned. I will skip this. Then there are environmental risks. We all know pesticides and bottled water, soft drinks. Jharia village in Bihar, you will find a kind of village that is sitting on the fire, and the geothermal energy is coming from the earth, and people are really living there. They are not leaving the place, even though government has insisted them, but they are dying, and even the whole villages are collapsing, but they are not leaving the place. So that also requires this is a developmental issue. So how to make these kinds of areas sustainable, that is a kind of challenge. And we have to take a note for solving such kind of problems. Even former President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, he made an appeal to these villagers, but they did not accept that appeal for evacuating the place. Nuclear awareness is also very, very important. We have seen the cases of leakage of nuclear waste, nuclear disasters in Russia, in Japan, and various places. So this nuclear awareness is also important. At the same time, when it comes to nuclear, people are really afraid. But as a matter of fact, nuclear is not only harmful, nuclear is also helpful because it has medicinal values. It is also utilized for creation of new food varieties, food safety. It is also important, even saving the lives. So nuclear is also important. Nuclear is also helpful for the people. It is not always the bad thing. It is also good thing. So this difference has to come to the fore through right kind of awareness and communication. Unpotable drinking water. I would like to say that more than 80% diseases are caused by unpotable drinking water. And people are suffering, and lakhs of people are dying in the country because of unpotable drinking water. They are suffering the diseases like diarrhea, like jaundice, which are really curable. So I am not saying that everybody should have the filter, expensive filter, but simple filtration by a kind of piece of cloth. I think we can reduce something like 60% dirtiness of the water. If we have the 2 layers of the clean kind of piece of cloth, we can reduce something like 70%. So there are a number of issues involved in drinking water, because drinking water issue do not make the headlines in the media, because media requires high-end kind of science, and there is no high-end kind of science. So there is another issue that such kind of stories are not appearing in the media. So otherwise, it is impacting everybody's life. And for instance, I would like to say, and when we visited the Rampur villages, and we found that people were suffering with number of diseases. And when we asked what to do for overcoming this problem, they said some people like you, they visited our village some 1 month back, and they suggested you have to boil the water. So then we have said that boiling the water is not the permanent solution, because the boiling the water can be useful when the water has the biological contamination, bacteria, virus, or pathogens are there. They will be died. But if the water has the chemical pollution, it will be disastrous, because while you are warming the water, you are boiling the water, these chemicals will react with each other. They will make the complex compounds. These complex compounds may be more toxic and more harmful. So boiling the water is not the solution all the time. And moreover, there are a number of algae like blue-green algae. It carries a kind of toxic material inside it. So when you boil, the walls of blue-green algae can be ruptured, and toxin can come out, making the drinking water toxic. So I think there are different kinds of solutions are available by science and technology. So we should go for these kinds of solution, not these kinds of local solutions for that. So this is a very important issue for sustainable development, and we have to provide as a state potable drinking water to all cross sections of the society. Parali burning is the latest issue we are seeing every year, and now the time is going to come. It is October, November, when parali burning in various states, especially Punjab, lot of smoke is coming and making Delhi polluted. So these kinds of education is also required. There are legal issues like DNA fingerprinting, ethical issues, developmental issues. Rajasthan, I would like to give a simple example. Rajasthan is known for scarcity of water. There is less water. And the women, especially the women, they have to travel something like, as an average, something like 3 kilometers every day to fetch potable drinking water from some water body nearby the village. So what some progressive youth of the locality, they assembled and they thought, let us overcome this issue so that women should not travel 3 kilometers or more than that to fetch the drinking water from the water bodies. So they have collected some money, sensitized the local public bodies like Panchayat, and collecting the money, they have put a kind of pump at the water body and just installed a pipeline to the village. Now people were very happy, and the villagers started getting, they turned the tap on and they will get the water on their doorstep. Everything was going on very smoothly. Everybody was happy. But at one day, when they turned the top in the morning, there was no water. So everybody was surprised. So they have seen that the pipe was broken in between. So they went, some of the people, they went there and they rectified the issue. Again, the water started coming in. After some time, the pipe was again broken. Then they were really, it alarmed. And in fact, they thought that somebody is not happy with their this kind of activity. So they put some kind of watch. In the midnight, they saw an elderly lady. She started breaking the pipe with a piece of stone, and she was caught red-handed. Then they very respectfully, because the lady was very elderly, belonging to the same village, they very respectfully presented her to next day to the Panchayat, and very respectfully asked, Mataji, what went wrong? Are you not happy? Then she says, what she says, it is very, very important. She says, do you want to stop the ladies going outside their houses? So now this is very sensitive issue, very important issue. She said, we used to go to water body, used to laugh at, share our views, share our sufferings, share our whatever, our happiness, whatever. So that opportunity you have stolen from us by putting this pipeline to our doorstep. So this is a different kind of issue, especially in the countries like India. Whenever we are thinking any developmental issue, we have to think of the local sensitivities, the custom issues. So this is a kind of custom approach versus modern approach. So whenever we are planning anything, we have to take care of these kinds of sensitive issues of our societies. Similarly, number of things are happening. We are experiencing the scientists and journalists are not maintaining good relations, because scientists have their own kind of understanding, where journalists have their own kind of understanding. So this also requires to be rectified. Media response, as I said, media only responds when it is able to make the headlines. but the simple things and small things cannot make the headlines. So that is the issue, the tailpiece issue for them. So these are the issues I think we need to take care.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. The time
I will conclude.
Yeah.
In a minute?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the data of science communication in India. Incidentally, science coverage is something like 3.40% as an average, and we need to enhance something like 10%. These are the activities that we have been working on. Year of Planet Earth, we have celebrated Science Express, a train taking the message around the country. Share communications. Share means for S for science, S for health, A for agriculture, R for risk, and E for environment. This is a kind of global initiative that we have taken. And the vaccine program, this vaccine is nothing to do with this COVID vaccine. This is the vulnerable assessment of climate change scenario in the country. And engaging children, a Jigyasa program is also there through CSIR, training programs and field programs. This is the schematic diagram, how we are planning to bridge the gap between science, media, communication, and the society. And this is all about science and risk communication for sustainable development. I will take you through this. Scientune is developed by one of my friends in CSIR, Dr. Pradeep Shrivastava. And this is how we should communicate science in a leisurely manner. Here you can see two elderly women. They are talking to each other. One lady is furious on another. And we want to convey the simple message that if you live in any of the metropolitan city of India, the smoke you inhale due to air pollution is equivalent to smoking 10-20 cigarettes a day, which may be hazardous for your health. So one lady is furious. She says to other, "You cheated me. My daughter will never marry your son. It is okay that he doesn't drink, smoke, or doesn't take any drugs. But why did you hide this fact that he lives in Delhi?" So this is how we can communicate the such developmental issues to the society in an interesting manner. This is yet another Scientune. It is about parasitology. Plants or animals which live in or on others, draw nutrients from them for their survival, are called parasites. And the study of parasites called parasitology. Now look at the caricature. In the dish, petri dish, you can find there some small creatures. They are talking to each other. And what they are talking, you can read over here. See these scientists. They exploit us for publishing research papers, getting PhDs, attending seminars, visiting abroad. Still they call us parasites. Then you can find who is the parasite. So now I will conclude. I will skip that. I will conclude with this is like now we are saying save panda. In the future, we should not say save man. So this is the, I will conclude with the statement by Gautam Buddha, who said something like 400 BC before. He says, "Do not believe on whatever you are told or you yourself have imagined it, unless you testify it. Do not believe whatever your teacher says just because you respect him, but believe only after your own examination and analysis. It would be your guiding factor that will never let you down." Buddha further says, "Even do not believe on whatever I say unless you have tested it with due experimentation, as a goldsmith does for testing of gold by putting it into fire." And that is the essence of scientific temper. Thank you very much for your attention and patience. Thanks a lot for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for that interesting and eye-opening presentation. Looking forward to working with you in the future as well. And we apologize for the small technical issues. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. My pleasure.
We'll be back in a minute with the next speaker.